Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 27th of June. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. This week we have Karoon Energy, Mineral Resources, Lycopodium, Catalyst Metals and Appen. Make sure you've signed up to our free newsletter, but my best stock tips come out on Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report, so please make sure you are getting that report. But if you do enjoy these videos, I'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is on the management side, so if you prefer my personal help in managing a share portfolio, then please give me a call. And the advice here is general only. So I've got a weekly chart here of Karoon. So there's a couple of major levels that it's been respecting over the past couple of years. So clearly the 240 level and around 190. So at one stage last year it looked like it was breaking to a new high. Didn't make much progress before failing. Bounced off that support level, rallied back up to that old 240 level and rejected. And as we can see, it's now fallen back under that support level. So shorter term, we could see it is sort of moving higher, but it's likely to face resistance at this previous support level here. So we really need to see it break above this 190 level. If we could see it trading above this line and holding, then that becomes to look more positive, and then we'd be looking for a move back up to 240, but it's still early for that. Okay, Mineral Resources. So we've looked at this one previously where it basically we've had this sort of downtrend, and a few months ago it broke the downtrend and started to trend nicely higher, but we can see that it's clearly failed to sustain that, and it's been sold pretty heavily, what's that, 5 weeks in a row. So if we have a look at the daily chart though, that's the move, and clearly it's massively oversold. We haven't seen it this oversold for a very long time. Quite a bit of volume here on this particular day. So I mean, it could be, we could be seeing just some capitulation into end of financial year. The daily's starting to look interesting. I mean, this sort of reversal here just above the January low is likely to give us a bounce in the short term, but I think given the state of this move, you'd probably expect to see more of a sideways move before it's ready to get going again. Okay, Lycopodium. So just zoom out here. Sort of end of last year, there was a sort of a nice sort of upside break, and it was trading well up to its peak, and then it reversed. So it's starting to, obviously I think since that peak it would be difficult to trade. You get this big reversal here, and it fell away, tried to rally, and then another sort of outside day. It's trying to get back up there again. So, I think those sharp sell-offs, they are a negative, but it is sort of coming back for more. So it's holding up near these levels. I think ultimately what you want to see is it clear these peaks, because clearly anywhere near this sort of 13 to 1350 level is where all the selling steps in. So if you can get above that, that would be a positive, but until then it is looking a bit messy. Okay, Catalyst Metals. So in terms of what it's done over the past several weeks, we could see that at this point here in May it was trading under the previous high, but it ran up to a new high, I think maybe a little bit too quickly, and therefore you've got a bit of selling. It's bouncing back now, but I think just given the volatility here, at best it just consolidates. I think it just needs more time to consolidate. If we have a look at the weekly chart, we could see that it's it has just taken, obviously as we saw on the other chart as well, it's taken out that high. So you've got this downtrend. Obviously that was a major resistance level, so it's trying to see if it can hold on to these sorts of levels. So I think if it moves sideways here and uses up a bit of time, then potentially early signs that this downtrend has been broken. Okay, finally Appen. Obviously long-term chart doesn't look very good. If we have a look at the daily chart, it's a little bit more interesting on the daily chart since the lows in Feb, because we've had an increase in the price here, and then as it started to do really well, a lot of volume came in, pulled back, had a bit of a bounce on good volume again, and then it's just been easing back, and we could see that the volume's dried up completely. So in terms of what we're seeing with volume, it's a positive, but given how far it's fallen over the long term, it's going to struggle to do much without the sellers stepping in. So there's a lot of people sitting on a loss. So as soon as it makes a bit of a rally, you're going to get selling. So I think it's a bit more of a short-term trade. What you need to look for is another sort of bounce on volume, and maybe yesterday was potentially a bit of an increase in volume, but not a lot. But I think if you can get a sort of a big day up on sort of decent volume like this, then potentially it's a short-term buy. You stick with it for a few days and then get out before the deep selling occurs again. Okay, well that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through, but we'll be taking a few weeks off, and we'll be back at the end of July for the next video.